Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why some people think free speech should be protected at all costs, while others believe we need strict rules to stop hateful comments online? It is a huge debate. People are constantly arguing about whether moderating social media is a necessary safety feature or a dangerous step towards censorship. Scientists have been trying to figure out if simply seeing hate speech online actually changes how we feel about our own freedom of expression. Does reading a nasty comment make you want to clamp down on speech? Or does it make you think society is becoming too controlled? Today, we're diving into a really interesting experiment that tried to answer exactly that. Researchers wanted to know if being exposed to mean or aggressive content actually pushes people to change their opinions on freedom of speech. They conducted a study in Germany with over 1,000 people to see if seeing this kind of content would shift their views. They split people into different groups. Some were shown hateful comments about specific social or political issues. Some were shown just plain facts about those same issues. And others were shown nothing at all. They wanted to see if the exposure caused any immediate shift in their beliefs. So here's where it gets interesting. You might assume that if someone sees a bunch of hateful posts, they would immediately demand more regulation or start feeling that their freedoms are under siege. But the results actually surprised the researchers. It turns out just seeing the content did not change how people felt about the overall state of free speech, whether they saw the hateful comments or just stayed in the control group. Their general feeling about how free societies remained pretty stable. It is like a flukiometer test. When their statistics came back, the lack of a significant difference meant that the result was likely not just due to random chance, but that the exposure simply did not have the big immediate impact many people expect. This is the big takeaway. While the exposure itself didn't change minds, the way a person personally interpreted the content did. If a participant looked at those comments and felt they were extremely rude or uncivil, their attitude changed. These people were much more likely to say that controlling hate speech is more important than protecting unrestricted free speech. It confirms that the harm of hate speech is in the eye of the beholder. One person might roll their eyes at an aggressive comment, while another person might feel it is a genuine threat to public discourse. That feeling of how uncivil the behavior is acts as a scale that tips their decision toward wanting more rules. This really challenges the idea that we can just pass blanket laws to fix the internet, because people have such different personal definitions of what counts as toxic or uncivil. It is almost impossible for everyone to agree on where the line of censorship should be drawn. Now, the study does have some limits. The researchers admit that they focused on specific issues in one country, Germany, and they used fictionalized groups to keep things fair. We also have to remember that they only looked at short-term reactions. In the real world, someone exposed to hate speech day after day might react differently over time. They even found that people who spend more time on social media seem to be a bit desensitized, which means they might view these comments as less shocking than someone who rarely logs on. What this really tells us is that the digital public square is incredibly complicated territory. We are essentially trying to govern a space where every user has a different sensitivity level to what they see. When we talk about regulating content on platforms like Instagram or X, we are balancing on a tightrope between protecting individuals from harm and keeping the door open for all kinds of ideas. The implication here is that instead of just shouting louder about whether we should or should not moderate posts, maybe we should start thinking about how we can build more respectful digital spaces that do not rely on constant, heated moderation battles. It makes me wonder about our own future. Will we eventually become so desensitized to online toxicity that it just becomes background noise, or will our personal definitions of civility keep moving further apart? I think the power of this study is that it reminds us how personal our political beliefs are. We are not just reacting to facts, we are reacting to how those facts make us feel. What about you? Do you feel like social media has become more toxic? And has that changed your view on whether companies should delete more posts? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the psychology of our online lives, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our next experiment breakdown. Thanks for hanging out at the Mind Lab today, and I will see you in the next one.